So, Fred, you wrote this book, Super Bold, right? What did you struggle with in your life? Maybe you could just briefly take us through, even though I know it could take like three podcasts to talk about your life history. But what was it that you went through early on in life, and then what led you to write this book?
I mean, I was the typical really shy teenager. Part of it was, they did this thing when I was younger where they would, if you did really well in school, they would skip you up a grade. So I skipped the second grade, and I was also fairly young in my class, being born in August. So I was younger than everybody the whole time, and that was part of it. uh, but also my mom was a very bold person, and she pushed me too much, and I just sort of retreated inside. And so I was a very shy, hesitant person. I couldn't ask a girl to dance. I couldn't ask a girl out. I until I was basically in college and starting to figure it out, but just really struggling. And it carried through college and into my work life. And I realized I was missing opportunities. And one of the big opportunities for work was I was working in a machine shop, and I always did a bunch of stupid jobs just to make money. And then so that I could bum around. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And so the owner saw that in his mind, I had potential. And he said, I think you could be one of our salespeople. He gave me an office, gave me a phone, gave me a desk and a list of businesses in the state. And he said, start calling these people and see if they want to do business with us. I couldn't dial the phone. I couldn't make a single phone call. And so back to the machine shop for me. But it was that moment of like, wow, I'm really impaired here by this. And I missed a couple of really what I thought were really good relationships with women because I didn't speak up, because I hesitated. And sometimes would find out later that they were really interested in me, but were waiting for me to speak up. And so I was aggregating these regrets, and I said, this has to stop. Meanwhile, I see bold people and I see the way they act, and I'm thinking, why are they like this? Why are they not processing fear of rejection like I am, and hesitating like I do? And I gradually said, I just got to push myself into my discomfort zone until I can do it. And of course, what happens is you create a positive feedback loop, because when you are bold, when you step up, good things happen. And you realize you were wrong most of the time about the bad things that are going to happen. And so I just kept working at it, and eventually started my own business. I started to meet amazing people, and I just kept expanding my boldness, because I also reflected on the times I was bold at any point in my life and all the great things that came from it. And I said, I've got to start repeating that, because I know it's good, but I get this other thing inside me that I got to work out. And some of it is just how you're thinking about stuff. A lot of it is the voice in your head doing a
Between you
really
and your
terrible job of guiding you. And it's all the social programming and stuff like that happens along the way that you have to deprogram. And it takes action to do it. It doesn't take just thinking about it. You can understand it, but you gotta do stuff. You gotta get out and take action and get better at social skills. A lot of what I talk about in the book are the social skills that nobody teaches us. And so I started to teach myself these things because I realized how messed up I was.
But
And
who
it
did
just
you learn it from?
uh, I learned it from people like Tony Robbins and other mentors, and then but a lot of it was very much self-taught, because I had to get into my own head and figure out why this was going on,
Yeah.
and tell myself a new story.
So
And
good.
then it just expanded and expanded and expanded to the point where my default mode is boldness, is stepping. It doesn't matter if I'm uncomfortable, I'm doing it anyway. So I call myself a bold introvert, because I like spending time alone. I get tons of stuff done alone, but I'm never lonely. I'm not alone by popular demand, so to speak. I'm out there in the world doing what I want to do, and then here by myself getting other stuff done. But there's always the power of being with people, learning how to collaborate, learning how to take feedback, all of these things that shy, hesitant, underconfident people mess up in their lives, and slow their progress down and keep them from achieving their dreams. So I eventually put it into a book because I taught some high school kids some of my life lessons.
How did you do that?
Well, a couple of young friends of mine were doing, their dad was a prominent speaker, teaching dentists how to run their business, and also how to run their life and manage their money and do all the stuff that we don't learn about life and business and stuff. He was teaching all that. And his son said, you need to teach this to younger people. And he said to his sons, young people don't have any money. He said, why don't you teach it? And so the sons took up the challenge and created this weekend course called Young and Motivated, where they taught the same life lessons, but from the perspective of 21, 22-year-old guys.
Great.
And they asked their dad, can we get some mentors friends of yours to come in and be part of this?
Oh my God.
And so cool. I got to say, here are the things I've learned in life. And one of the most important things I learned is that boldness is a superpower. And they kept coming to me saying, yeah, but how? So I finally said, I've got to write this book. I've got to systematize this and explain to people how they can do it.
Yeah.
That's how I got here.